What if I told you that two people can experience the exact same event and walk away living in completely different realities? One person sees rejection, the other sees opportunity. One reaches for a drink, the other goes for a walk. Same event, completely different outcome. So who's right? Neither of them is experiencing reality exactly as it is. They're experiencing reality through the filter of their own brain. In about 15 minutes or so, you're going to understand exactly why your brain has been creating your reality all along. And more importantly, how you can start changing it today. Because the biggest breakthrough isn't changing your life first, which is what most of us do. It isn't changing your behavior and hoping you start to feel better. It's changing the lens through which you see things. When you change your lens, you can start to question your thoughts and beliefs and learn how to create the life you actually want. Think of it like this. One person is wearing red glasses, so everything they interpret makes them feel angry. Another is wearing blue glasses. Everything is making them sad. Someone with yellow glasses, and everything is positive. You get to choose which color lens you have in your metaphorical glasses. Have you ever been convinced someone was angry with you, only to discover later they were just tired? Or have you ever bought a new car or been looking to buy a new car and suddenly noticed that exact model everywhere? It's not coincidence. That's your brain filtering reality. And understanding this one principle could completely change how you experience stress, anxiety, cravings for substances or destructive behaviors, how you show up and receive love in relationships, and basically how you live your entire life. So stay with me, because there's one concept in the middle of this video that completely changed how I coach people, and it might change how you see yourself forever. Your brain doesn't show you reality. Let's start with something most people don't realize. Every single second, your brain receives 11 million bits of pieces of information. The temperature, the sounds, the smells, people walking, people talking, the pressure of your clothes, your heartbeat, your breathing, eye color, every movement. Now, if your brain allowed all of that into your conscious awareness, you would be completely overwhelmed. So instead, your brain deletes most of it. It generalizes some of it, and it focuses on only a tiny fraction, about 50 bits. Not 50 million bits, 50. So think of it like your email box. Your brain has an incredibly aggressive spam filter, or think of it like social media algorithm. You are shown things that relate to your unique preferences. Your brain works the same. The question is, who programmed that filter? That's where things get interesting. You did. Everything your brain and nervous system has ever encountered from the day you were born until now has been filtered and stored. What you've repeatedly thought about, what you've repeatedly felt, and what you've acted out or not acted out. It does this through something called your RAS. This is your reticular activating system. So when you look out into the world, your RAS is constantly filtering. Whatever doesn't match your algorithm, it then hides. What you don't want to see based on your past experiences, it hides it. It works with your internal system, your nervous system. So when you feel emotions and activations inside your body, it is connecting the two to decide what you want to see and feel in the moment and in the future. So if you want to change your reality from a neuroscience lens, start practicing using my signature CLEAR method. It's a framework I use inside my course and with my coaching clients who want to change their relationship with alcohol, substances, or other destructive behaviors, as well as help with anxiety, depression, overthinking, procrastination. So I'm going to break it down for you, and you can just start practicing using it. Because once you understand this cycle, you'll begin catching the moment where change actually happens. So let's walk through it. So it's called CLEAR, CLEAR, 5 simple steps. But they explain almost everything we think, feel, and do. So first you've got C. This is the circumstance. Everything starts with a circumstance. A circumstance is simply something that happens. Your partner doesn't text back. Your boss gives feedback. Someone walks past without saying hello. Somebody looks at you a bit strange. You go to an event, a friend's house, an outing. You notice your heart racing. You feel butterflies in your stomach. Your nervous system gets activated. But these are just events. They're actually neutral. They're not positive and they're not negative. The circumstance itself doesn't create your emotional experience. Something happens in between. And this next step is where your life is created. Your lens. This is the L. This is your interpretation of what's happening. So imagine wearing a pair of glasses you've had on your entire life. You've forgotten you're even wearing them. Those glasses are made from your beliefs. This is your subconscious programming, your subconscious system, your past experiences, your childhood learning, any trauma that you've experienced, your habits, your expectations, your nervous system, your identity. This is your subconscious programming. Everything passes through this lens before you experience it. And here's the fascinating part. Your brain actively searches for evidence that your existing beliefs are true, that your existing subconscious programming is true. So this is where that RAS, the reticular activating system, comes into it. So think of it like your brain's search engine. If you believe people don't respect me, guess what your brain starts finding? Evidence. If you believe I'm getting stronger every day, it begins finding evidence for that too. The brain isn't asking what is true, it's asking what matches what I already believe. And just that one sentence explains so much of human behavior. A simple example. Imagine two people receive exactly the same text, "We need to talk." Person one instantly thinks, "I'm in trouble." Their stomach tightens, their heart races, and anxiety begins. Whereas person two thinks they probably want to organize something, and they carry on with their day. Same text, different reality. The circumstance didn't create the emotion. Can you see that? The lens did. And now comes the part most people mistake for the beginning, but it's actually the result of the first two. And this is E for emotion. So our interpretation creates our emotional experience and our nervous system state. So let's talk about anxiety. This is one of the biggest misconceptions I see. Your body produces adrenaline, cortisol increases, your heart beats faster, your breathing changes. These are body sensations. Then your brain labels those sensations. This is anxiety. That label increases the fear, which increases the sensations, which strengthens the label. Whereas anxiety in the body actually feels exactly the same as excitement, but because you have a fear attached to that feeling, it creates that loop. So that doesn't mean that anxiety is just in your head, far from it. The sensations were very real, but the meaning that you attach to those sensations shapes how you experience them. So one person thinks I'm having a panic attack. Another thinks my nervous system is activated. Same body, very different experience. The way you feel based on your interpretation and how that interpretation has made you feel is what creates your life. Notice how I said your interpretation has made you feel, not someone else, not something else. You create how you feel. This creates then what action or inaction you don't take. So the next one is A for action. Every emotion nudges us towards behavior. If I believe I can't cope, I might drink, avoid, procrastinate, scroll endlessly on my phone. We've all done that. Shut down, people please, overthink. But if my interpretation changes, my behavior changes too. So I might pause, take 5 slow breaths, go for a walk, call a friend, journal, exercise, or ask for help. Did you notice something really important? The circumstance never changed. It was always neutral. Only the lens changed. So this then creates your result. This is the R in clear. Every behavior, every action or inaction creates a result. And this is where your brain is constantly learning. So imagine someone drinks after a very stressful day. Stress, drink, relief. The brain learns alcohol solved the problem. Next stressful day, the brain offers alcohol again. Not because you're weak, because your brain is efficient. It is a prediction machine. Now imagine something different. Stress, pause, breathe, walk. Craving passes. Your brain learns, oh, we survived without alcohol. A new pathway begins forming. These are your neural pathways. This is literally what makes up your entire existence. This is neuroplasticity. The brain changes through repetition, not perfection. It changes based on what you think, what you feel, and how you act. So here's what I want you to remember. Thoughts are not facts. They're mental events. That's it. Some are helpful. Some are outdated. Some are very outdated. Some were created decades ago by experiences that no longer exist. Yet many of us, actually I would say most of us, obey every single thought as if it's absolute truth. Imagine believing every advertisement you ever saw. You wouldn't. You would ponder it, question it. You wouldn't see an ad for a purple polka dot hat and instantly be online buying it. No, you would question if you like it or not. You would filter what you have seen through your lens. And maybe you love purple polka dots because when you were a kid you had a doll with a purple polka dot dress. But maybe there was a mean old lady that wore purple polka dots. Your interpretation from that advertisement would create very different results. So why do you believe every thought? Because this is all happening on a subconscious level. This is why the power of awareness really is your superpower. And this is where change begins. Not with positive thinking, not with fake affirmations, not pretending everything is wonderful. Awareness. The moment you can notice, I'm having the thought that I'm not good enough instead of I'm not good enough, you create space. You become the observer of your thoughts. And inside that space, you gain something incredible. You gain choice. And that is where freedom lives. So how do you put all of this into action? You challenge the lens. Whenever you are having repeated thoughts or repeated results in your life or emotions that you no longer want, you challenge your lens. Next time you notice yourself spiraling, ask yourself, what actually happened? What story am I telling? What evidence supports that story? What evidence doesn't? Could there be another explanation? What would someone else watching this situation think? What belief is driving this interpretation? You don't have to force yourself into unrealistic positivity. Sometimes the most powerful shift is simply moving from this is hopeless to I'm willing to see this differently. Change doesn't happen from one massive behavior shift. Change happens from small shifts repeated consistently. That creates entirely different lives. Your brain's job is not to make you happy. I know you think it does, but that's not what it's there for. It's trying to keep you consistent. It's working with your nervous system to detect possible threats to your connections, to yourself and to other people, and it's doing this to keep you safe. Its job isn't to create joy and happiness. It's to keep you alive. Everything you've thought and done up until now has kept you alive. So it believes what you have thought and actions you have taken have been good for survival. So it will keep filtering the way you've taught it to. It loves familiar. Even when familiar hurts, it thinks familiar is safe. But the incredible news is this: your brain can change. Your nervous system can change. Your beliefs can change. Your habits can change. Which means your future can change. Not because your circumstances magically become perfect. Someone can be homeless on the brink of starvation and be happier than someone who has all the luxuries in the world. And it all comes down to your perception, your interpretation of the world with your unique filter and the algorithm that you created. So just like you can change the algorithm on social media, you can change your algorithm. You can reprogram your subconscious system. So things you want to see and feel and do will start showing up in your life. Not because anything outside of you changed, but because you've changed the lens through which you experience them. And when your lens changes, your emotions change, your actions change, your results change. And over time, your reality changes too. This is how you create a life that you want. And it all starts with bringing your subconscious systems to your conscious mind. Become aware of what's happening, question it, change it, feel different, act different, and you will transform any area in your life that you want. If this video helped you see yourself differently, let me know in the comments. What one belief you've realized might just be a story, not a fact. I'd love to hear it. And if you're ready to understand how to rewire your brain, regulate your nervous system, and break free from the patterns keeping you stuck, subscribe, because that's exactly what I cover here. And if you want help to transform your life, whether it's to get back in control of drinking, heal from binge eating, quit substances, finally heal your anxiety or depression, or build your confidence or self-worth, if you want to change any destructive behavior that's no longer serving you, you can always apply for one-on-one coaching at www.rewiredrecovery.co. I will leave the link in the description.